On the night of October 2nd, 2017, the world stood still as news broke about Tom Petty's sudden collapse in his Malibu home. Just days earlier, he had been on stage, performing with the same quiet intensity that defined his four-decade career. To fans, he seemed timeless, untouched by age or fatigue. Yet beneath that enduring image lay a man pushing through immense physical pain. The revelation that followed his death exposed a tragic truth. A mixture of powerful medications used to endure a fractured hip had overwhelmed his body, bringing an abrupt end to a remarkable life. A life beyond the spotlight. Tom Petty's story was never just about music or fame. It was a narrative shaped by contradiction, strength paired with vulnerability, success shadowed by struggle. While he projected calm confidence, he quietly battled personal demons, including anxiety and addiction. His songs, often simple and direct, carried emotional weight because they were rooted in lived experience. They spoke to resilience, longing, and escape. Behind the stage lights was a man whose life was far more complex than his public persona suggested. A man who endured hardship while creating music that inspired millions. A difficult childhood, born on October 20th, 1950, in Gainesville, Florida, Petty's early life was marked by instability and fear. His father, Earl Petty, was prone to anger, often fueled by drinking and gambling. The household environment was tense, unpredictable, and emotionally taxing. While his mother worked steadily to maintain some sense of normalcy, young Tom learned to navigate a home where conflict was common. Instead of carefree childhood moments, he experienced a constant need to stay alert, to avoid provoking his father's temper, shaping his inward, observant nature. Finding escape through imagination. Unlike his younger brother, who adapted to their father's expectations, Tom gravitated toward quieter pursuits. He found solace in drawing, imagining, and losing himself in television. These activities became his refuge from the chaos around him. Through the screen, he glimpsed a wider world, one filled with possibility and freedom. It was in these moments that his imagination began to flourish. The contrast between his confined reality and the expansive worlds he observed fueled a desire to escape, planting the seeds for the ambition that would later define his life. The Elvis moment. A pivotal turning point came when an uncle took him to a film set where he saw Elvis Presley in person. That encounter left an indelible mark. The sight of a man commanding attention with a guitar under bright lights ignited something powerful within him. Music suddenly became more than entertainment. It became a path, a possibility. Soon after, Petty traded his childhood toys for records, immersing himself in sound and rhythm. Elvis represented a gateway to a different life, one that seemed attainable if he could just follow the same path. The Beatles' influence. Not long after, another defining moment arrived when the Beatles appeared on television. For many, it was a cultural phenomenon, but for Petty, it was transformative. Their energy, style, and sound revealed the potential of music as a force of identity and expression. It was no longer just about admiration. It became a calling. From that point forward, music consumed his thoughts and ambitions. He began to see himself not as a spectator, but as a participant in this world, someone who could create and perform rather than simply watch from afar. First steps into music. By the age of 16, Petty had already joined a local band, marking the beginning of his practical journey into music. Rehearsals in garages and performances at small venues gave him a sense of belonging he had never felt at home. Music became more than an escape. It became a community. While others his age were considering conventional futures, Petty was focused entirely on his musical path. Each performance reinforced his belief that he was meant for something beyond Gainesville, something larger and more meaningful than the life he had known. the formation of Mudcrutch. In the early 1970s, Petty and a group of like-minded musicians formed Mudcrutch. This band represented both friendship and ambition. They shared a vision of breaking free from their small-town roots and making a mark in the music world. Influenced by classic rock sounds, they spent countless hours rehearsing, refining their style, and dreaming of success. Petty stood out for his determination. He wasn't just playing music, he was chasing a future. The band became a vehicle for escape, a means to turn aspiration into reality. The move to Los Angeles. Driven by ambition, Mudcrutch made the bold decision to relocate to Los Angeles. The move was risky, filled with uncertainty and financial struggle. They lived modestly, often relying on friends and small gigs to survive. The club scene was tough, with indifferent audiences and limited opportunities. Yet, these experiences hardened their resolve. Each performance, no matter how small, was a step forward. Slowly, they began to attract attention, their persistence paying off as industry figures started to notice their distinctive sound and Petty's compelling presence. A break and a setback. Their growing reputation eventually led to a recording contract, which seemed like the breakthrough they had been working toward. They released a single that captured their musical identity, but it failed to achieve commercial success. The response from the label was swift and disheartening. Mudcrutch was disbanded, and Petty was offered a solo path instead. For him, this was not a victory, but a betrayal. The band was more than a professional arrangement. It was a shared journey. Losing it felt like losing a part of himself, loyalty and identity. Petty's reaction to the band's dissolution revealed a defining aspect of his character: loyalty. He valued relationships and shared struggles over individual success. The idea of moving forward alone, leaving behind those who had supported him, conflicted with his sense of identity. This moment underscored the tension between ambition and integrity that would follow him throughout his career. While he would eventually achieve great success, he never lost sight of the importance of connection, often bringing former bandmates back into his musical life. Conclusion: Tom Petty's journey was one of resilience, shaped by hardship, passion, and an unyielding drive to create. From a troubled childhood to the heights of rock stardom, he remained deeply human, flawed, determined, and profoundly authentic. His final days, marked by physical pain and quiet endurance, reflected the same refusal to back down that defined his music. Though his life ended tragically, his legacy endures through songs that continue to resonate. In them, listeners find not just melodies, but the story of a man who turned struggle into something timeless.